welcome to this weekly reading vlog. I'm so happy to have you here. Thanks for joining. This week is actually Valentine's week, and I have spent the last several videos that I've made talking about my February TBR. I've shown a mini book haul. It's all been romance books. I mean, I've got romance books out the wazoo, and what does my crazy mind wake up this morning and want to do? It wants to read fantasy. So I have no idea like what kind of sense that makes. I'm just like sitting here being like, girl, riddle me this. How does that even make sense after all of these romance books that you have gotten and been excited about reading? But the mind wants what it wants, so I will honor that space that I'm in. It's one of my favorite sayings to say, honor the space you're in. So hey ho, if I feel like fantasy, who am I to deny myself, right? So this week I'm going to be attempting to read the Daevabad series, which is these three books right here. So we have the City of Brass, we have the Kingdom of Copper, and then of course the Empire of Gold. Now each one of these is quite a chunker of a book. They are massive. I don't even know how many pages altogether this would be, but the reason that I'm trying to read them all and really get through this series is because Shannon Chakraborty, the author of these, actually has a new book coming out, part of a new series. It's coming out in a couple of weeks, and it's about pirates and seafaring adventures, and it has like this really strong female character, and I think it sounds absolutely magical, and I really want to read it like in real time while it's brand new and everyone's got hype around it, because I kind of miss the hype around the Daevabad series, and so I want to be a part of the community talking about it, and I don't want to get spoiled over anything in the book. So that's why I really felt like picking up this series, and I'm really hoping to get through it before I start on that series. It would be such nice closure and such nice introduction to the author and her works. I have heard nothing but good things about her writing, and I'm so excited. I've only started reading a couple of chapters into this, and I can already tell that I'm already so impressed with her writing style. It flies by. It's so quick. You know how in fantasy sometimes you can be overwhelmed with the detail and the world building and just like info dump that it can have sometimes? Whereas with this, I haven't felt that way. I actually have had the feeling of like, oh my God, I just want more. And a really good fantasy book will do that to you, at least in my experience, in my limited experience of reading fantasy. So I'm so excited to keep reading this one. And you know, maybe I'll toss in a romance book this week, maybe something cute like Secretly Yours, which is the new Tessa Bailey release, or maybe, you know, Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute, which is the Talia Hibbert I had mentioned as well, or maybe Loveless. So those are the three that I'm toying with that I might throw in the mix this week in the spirit of it being Valentine's week, even though I don't really care that much for Valentine's week, but maybe I'll pick up a little romance in between. But my main goal this week is to get through the Daevabad series, and we'll see how far I get. But we also have a number of other things going on this week. I'll be going to this like really fun Beauty and the Beast immersive experience, which I'm excited about, where you make cocktails and get immersed in the world of Beauty and the Beast. So I'm excited about that. And then I'll also be making a few treats for Valentine's week. So as you know, you've seen in some of my vlogs that I love to bake and cook and show you guys some of that. So I will show you some of that as I make it as well. But again, thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and I will catch you a little later this week. Hi friends, I wanted to give a reading update now that it's been a couple of days. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little intimidated earlier this week when I said I was gonna be attempting to read the Daevabad series because it's so big and the books are so thick, but actually at the pace that I'm getting through this book, the first one, I actually might be crazy enough to get through the series this week, which would be incredible, but I am just flying through this one. It's so interesting. I have just been completely thrown into this world and I cannot get enough. I knew I would like it. I kind of had an inkling, but when it's actually realized, it's so much fun. When you're like anticipating a book, you know it's going to be kind of good, but you're like still a little bit nervous as to, you know, to see how it goes. And then when it actually meets those like expectations, it's incredible. And that's what's happening so far. I am just under 50% of the way through and it's only been a little while since I've started reading it, so I'm very excited to keep going. The story is about a girl named Nahiri and she lives in Cairo and she's just been kind of getting by in life. She's like a petty thief, just tricking people and using different games and tricks that she has just to get by and pay her bills and kind of have enough to survive. And all she's ever wanted to do was escape and have a better life for herself, maybe even study and become a scholar and actually be educated and have a profession that is respectable. And so this story is about her, and as soon as you get into like a chapter or two, it just picks right up with the action. So many things happen. She meets so many people along the way, and it's the story of how she kind of gets out of Cairo and learning about her backstory and her family. And there's like magic in this world as well, and you travel through these different landscapes, and oh my goodness, the descriptions of like the bazaars and the souks and the spices and all the like herbal teas, you would actually think you were in Cairo. And I'm just loving the aesthetics of the book. They're so wonderfully written and I love it. It's giving very Aladdin, which is so exciting for someone like me because Aladdin was like my favorite Disney film as a child, and I am getting very Aladdin vibes. So if you love that kind of Arabian Nights, kind of magical Middle Eastern spices and, you know, that whole world and the bazaars and all the like hustle and bustle of those cities, then you would love this. And the action is impeccable. There's so much background detail that's made this world really complex and fun as well, and it really doesn't stop at any point. So even when the characters are having a moment where they're sharing some dialogue, it doesn't really slow down. They're still adding so much fun and intrigue to the story, and there aren't really any slow moments in the book, which I really like, and I think that's part of the reason I've been able to truck through so much of it so quickly. But I just cannot wait to keep reading this. I am loving it so far. She's a great character, and the other ones that she's met along the way are also so much fun, and the magic system is also quite intriguing. So I am very, very excited to keep reading, and I will give you another update later this week. Hopefully by then I can even be to the next book, but we'll see. Hi friends, happy Valentine's Day, whether you celebrate or not. I hope the most important person that you focus on loving today is yourself, and that is my little PSA. But I really wanted to drop in to give you an update on the City of Brass. It's been, I think, a day since I gave you my last update, and the last time I said I was flying through it, and I am still flying through it. This book is incredible. I am kicking myself because I wish I had picked it up sooner. It's so good. The adventure is incredible. The world building, the detail. I feel like it's not just me reading and my eyesight is getting a delight. It's like my taste buds and my ears and everything she's describing. It's like an immersive experience, and I feel like I'm in these bazaars and these souks and like in the castle and the palace. And like I said, it's like very Aladdin vibes. Like I swear there was like a scene where the main character having like a moment with one of the other characters, and in my mind, I swear a whole new world was like blasting at full like high intensity. I was like, wow, this is just such a treat for all the senses, and I have loved it so far. So I am now about, I would say, 2/3 of the way through. I hope I can finish it tomorrow. Probably today we're gonna try to spend a little bit of time together as a family, and I also have a couple things I need to finish now, including making some treats for my husband before he gets done with his workday, so I need to quickly go do that. I will take you along with me, but I just wanted to give that quick reading update. I really hope I can finish this tomorrow and then get to the next book, which is The Kingdom of Copper. At the rate that I'm flying through this, I don't think I'll pick up another book in between, because I have a feeling this is like one of those books that's gonna leave off on a cliffhanger, and if that's the case, then I'm really gonna want to jump into the next one, which doesn't typically happen with fantasy. I think after I read a fantasy, I need some filler books in between, like some palate cleansers, but every now and again there'll be one where I'm like, nope, not waiting, I need to jump into the next one. And I think that's gonna happen with this book as well if it does end on a cliffhanger. So wanted to give you that update, and also urge you to read this book if you haven't yet. Don't wait like me any further and just read it and get yourself immersed into this world, because it's incredible. But I'll catch you a little later this week. Let's go make some treats for my husband. I wanted to pop in and give one last reading update before I close out this vlog, and just let you know that I finished The City of Brass yesterday, and oh my goodness, without a doubt, 5 stars. Love this, devoured this. It's amazing, it's magical, it's everything. I'm so glad I picked it up as my next book, because now I'm on a bender and I'm going to read all 3 of them in a row. So I was initially kicking myself because I was like, why haven't I picked this up sooner? It's so incredible. But now I guess I can treat it like a Netflix series, because now I can just binge all 3 of them at the same time instead of having to wait for the next book to be released. So I'm really excited about that, and I actually have already picked up the next book, which is called The Kingdom of Copper, and I'm already like a 10th of the way through. That should tell you everything you need to know about this book and how incredible it is. The fact that I just want to jump into the next one. Usually in between like a really heavy fantasy, I will want to add in some like palate cleanser books, something a little different, just get out of the world for a little bit, take a break. But in this case, I'm like, nope, I am jumping right into the next book, because I cannot wait to devour more of these characters and this world and see what happens with the plot line and all the politics that are going on in this book. It's just, I haven't felt like this about a book in a very long time, and that's why you can tell I'm like got this nervous energy. I'm rambling because I'm so excited and I can't get all the words out at the same time. But I hope that gives you some motivation to pick this book up if you like fantasy, and even if you don't, if you're kind of new to fantasy and looking for something to maybe help you get into the genre, this is a great one. This one is set in a magical Middle Eastern world. Like I said before, the sensory overload is amazing, like in all the best ways for your eyes and ears, and the tastes I can almost feel of all the different foods, and just the politics is incredible, the characters, just the history and all of the elements that go into this world. The magic system is really interesting as well. I just devoured this book and I loved it so much. Even during a very busy week, we had an incredibly busy week, and I still was like forcing myself to find time for this book because I liked it that much. So I am really excited about the second one, which is The Kingdom of Copper, like I just said, and it just picks up right where it left off, and it's incredible. Like, as far as, you know, it doesn't take time to get into this book. It's like this could have all just been one continuous novel. That's how it feels to pick up this one. And I love a series that can do that, because sometimes in between you can tell when there's a bit of a break in the author's writing, but with this, actually it's just right back into it, and I love it. And I can already tell this one's going to be a little bit more intense, a little bit more intriguing, and have a few more details, and just like expand the world in such a great way. And usually book 2s are so good. They're typically my favorite in fantasy series. I'm not a long-standing fantasy reader, but so far book 2s have always been some of my favorites, so I can't wait to get to that. But right now I'm actually headed to this really interesting Beauty and the Beast like immersive experience. I hope I can take my camera to show you a few bits and bobs, but it sounds really magical and interesting in the spirit of me having this very magical week, so hopefully I can share that with you. I'm so excited. Of course, Belle was one of the more interesting princesses because she loved to read, so I'm excited about that, and I can't wait to show you. But thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.